lights up upon your forehead, cool and cold, like it has some magic power forcing you to be there. It's smooth and white and clear. You know it's leading you down a dark road nobody ever dared to go. It was like a deep, dark voice, coming from above the clouds, above the sky, moving from one place to another, giving commands, and rumbling along. I saw it smile once, just a quick smile for maybe a second or two, before frowning along, going on its way, sounding like heavy stones crunching on gravel invisibly.
Yeah, and as you can see, Adora's poems are in a slightly different style than mine. So this is to show kids that poems, and adults too, that poems can really be many different shapes and forms. And they can rhyme, they don't have to rhyme, they can be long, they can be short. Notice I've written poems that have been 2 lines. And Adora was like, is that a poem? And I say, yeah, it is. So poems and writing in general, you can do pretty much whatever you want in it because it's your world. And I have a final poem to share with you. It's called Where Books Can Take You, and that's what it's about. There's a saga of the Norsemen in my cupboard. There is a book about Zeus by my door. I can travel to Viking fjords and to Mount Olympus of lore. If I had a volume about astronauts, then in space I could soar, into the galaxy, lots and lots, and back again for more. You see, I have only to look at a page to be transported to ancient Greece, to consult an oracle or a mage, to search for the golden fleece. I could be a pirate gnashing my fangs, a sailor knocked overboard, lost in a place where the sirens sang, my skull to rest with the treasure hoard. Oh, I can go anywhere in a book, to Alaska and Antarctica too. Sitting here in my reading nook, I can see the peaks of Peru. Thank you, and you might notice that I was kind of heavy on Greek mythology in that, and that is because at the time I was reading my books of Greek heroes from the legends, and so this poem itself was inspired by a book I was reading, and by things I'd heard about, the Golden Fleece, sirens. These are all things I'd heard about in Greek mythology. Then I was also learning a little bit, I think, in geography about fjords. So these are where some of the words and the inspirations from a poem come from. Books can take you anywhere and everywhere. So where do you want to go? Any places that you want to go right now? Feel like going? Yes?
China.
China. Okay, so you could get a book about China, about the Great Wall, and you would be going there. You would be learning about it. You would be, and you might even be able to smell the food and taste it if the writer of that book is really good at describing the senses. So you could really go anywhere in a book. You can smell things, you can taste things. If that writer's good at describing the senses, and that's time we need to remember as writers to include those senses, so that when people are reading our work, then they are able to really be transported to the place and to the experience we're talking about. Are there any other places we want to go? Yes?
Hawaii.
Hawaii! Oh, that is a nice place. I was actually there just last October. And yeah, so if you wanted to go to Hawaii, then there are a few books you could read. It depends on whether you want to go into like a volcano or something, then I would read something about the geology. But if not, if you want more of like a beach vacation, then I would read a travel book. Yeah, now I know my dad, he would probably read like something about geology, and then, and so it really depends on what kind of experience you want to get out of that book. So you might want to read something about a beach. You want to go to a beach. Here are some of the places writing has taken me. So on to writing now. My books, I do a lot of traveling as a result of my books. Now I'm in Oregon, and you can see that highlighted on the map. Actually, I've been here before. I was actually born in Springfield, Oregon, and Adora was born in Eugene. So we lived here for a little while. So here are some of the states I've been to. I believe it's 20 states now, and some of these I've also visited virtually through video conferencing. Internationally, I've been to Canada, England, France, Italy, China, and then virtually to Costa Rica, Brazil, Australia, the United Arab Emirates, and by virtually I mean through video conferencing. So writing has really allowed me to travel all around the world, although I still have yet to cover the African continent, and I think that would be cool to do Antarctica. Well, I've read books about Antarctica, so I've been there. And now I'd like to move on to where writing can take you. Getting inspirations for writing. So I know that sometimes one of the things that's really hard about writing is not so much actual writing, but maybe getting an idea for writing. Have any of us, when we're trying to write, have any of us gotten stuck on trying to think of an idea? You can raise your hand if you have. Okay, I see a lot of raised hands. So here's a bit about getting inspirations for writing. The first thing to do is observe. Does anyone want to tell me what observe means?